with their football games. And I mean, I would think Gopher football's, second to Vikings football.
Yeah, no,
so that's a pretty big statement.
Great point, Dave. It tells you that, and I've been banging this drum for a while. I mean, soccer in this state has always been good. It's always been good, but it is on the rise, and I think we're looking at an exponential curve here.
Yeah,
I really believe that.
I think you're right, Dave, in the fact that soccer is on the rise. I also believe that soccer fans in the state haven't had a lot of say. They're not very vocal about soccer.
I agree.
As much as other sports in this area. You get an MLS team and you start selling things out. Well, then people start recognizing that maybe there's a lot of people here who enjoy soccer, who aren't saying a lot of things about it, who aren't being vocal about it. And soccer is a big sport in this state. Yep. And regardless of the fact that I listen to K-Fan, I listen to 1500 AM, and they don't talk soccer very often. I mean, 1500 has the guys from the podcast they do at Brits.
Yeah,
I can't do their names, but they talk about English soccer all the time. And the problem I have with that is 1500 they'll talk about soccer a little bit and they won't talk bad about it. K-Fan will talk about soccer and give it shit all the time.
Right.
They'll say it's the fifth best sport in the United States. It's not that great. Football, everything else is better than that. But there is a silent majority in Minnesota who has loved soccer for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
Who's not very vocal about it. Myself included. Probably Dave, yourself included. Dave, probably yourself included.
For the last 20 years.
For the last 20 years. You've watched all the major league sports in this town, right? And you've been waiting for MLS to come on board and be as big as everybody else.
Absolutely. And even 5 years ago when we were going to the games up and playing, I didn't necessarily expect I was not going to those games assuming that we'd eventually be in the MLS.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. No.
Yeah, I mean, I remember having season tickets for the Thunder back in 2007.
Yeah.
2007, I didn't even remotely think we'd ever be in MLS.
This is the thing, too, is that watch where we came from with the Thunder and where we are now. You gotta be there. You've gotta be there.
Yeah, if you're selling it, like if you're looking at a stock and you're looking at growth, there's exactly significant growth for soccer in this state. And there's no reason to think that if you want to call it a bull market, it's not over. Like, I think it can get a lot bigger and a lot longer.
And I can play the game of, NFL's bigger than MLS. I get that. MLB, NBA, NHL, whatever it is. But soccer has shown, especially MLS, since the World Cup back in, 94, right?
Yep.
94, they've steadily grown everything. They've done a very nice job. They haven't expanded too hard. They've done a very nice job of growing the sport. And now we've seen that. We've seen that Minnesota's. We see the Atlantas selling out at the what stadium is that? Is that Mercedes-Benz Stadium? Yeah. Selling out, what is that, 50,000?
Well, it seats 72,000, but I mean they're regularly selling out the Lower Bowl and getting 50,000. Yeah,
that's an expansion MLS team
in Atlanta. That's college football. That's the heart of college football.
Not even college football. It's college football. It's baseball. It's
everything.
And NFL football. Yeah. It's everything.
They've got everything.
You're selling out a stadium like that. You're selling out TCF Bank for a soccer game, not the upper deck, the lower deck.
Yep.
MLS is on the uprise.
It is. I
mean, and you have to. So back to my point. When the United have their first game at Allianz Stadium next spring, I have to flip and be there. I just have to be there. That's the point. Yeah. You have to be there. You cannot miss that.
And selling, talking about United States, I'm not talking about the world, but as far as soccer goes, United States, your top four, NFL, Major League Baseball, NHL, and NBA.
Yeah.
That's a tough top four to crack.
It's tough.
Oh, terribly tough, yeah.
So I'm not talking next year or the year after, but I am not joking when in the next, say, 5 years, maybe 10 years would be, I have no reason to believe that soccer could not crack that top 4.
Well, I think in the next 10 years, if they continue to do what they're doing, the MLS, I think it will be better than NHL. I think you'll have more
I have no doubt.
fans than NHL.
Across the country.
Across the country.
Yeah. We already...
Potentially NBA, because NBA is on a down spout right now. MLB, potentially, if they do not make their games faster.
I think baseball's safe. I'm sorry, for the next 10 years. I would say
there's been some issues now with baseball being too long.
Yes, that's true.
And that's a big issue. And NFL's got the same problem. MLS doesn't have that problem because we have 45-minute halves.
Yep.
There is no stoppage time for timeouts for a Miller Lite commercial or a condom commercial, anything like that. You know what I mean?
That's true.
There is no timeout for that.
Yeah, that's true. Like if you suddenly woke up and your memory was wiped and you've never seen a sport before and you watched an NFL game on TV, a Major League Baseball game on TV, and a soccer game, what would you choose? That'd be a real. I mean, obviously you can't wipe your memory clear, but I think.
Well, you know what drew me to soccer was it was the last time I was at Lambeau Field. I went to a game, and I was reminded about the first time I went to Lambeau Field about how freaking long it is.
Yeah, it's very long.
You sit there in the stands, and thankfully the second game was in September, but the first game I went to was in December.
Yeah.
And you sit there in the stands, and you watch the players stand around.
Yeah.
And it's like, really? And then all of a sudden, a buddy of mine at Wisconsin Eau Claire was like, "Hey, you should watch a soccer game." And I think it was Manchester United and somebody. And I was like, "Wow, this game is 90 minutes. It's going to maybe be 96, 97, and that's it. You're done."
And when I talk to my wife and I say I'm going to a United game tonight and it starts at 7, and she says, "What time are you going to be home at?" I know it'll end by 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
And I know if I don't go after the game, I'll be home by 10. Whereas when you go to an MLB game, an NFL game, it starts at noon, okay? Vikings games, big thing. You're there for 3 hours.
Yeah.
Maybe more.
Easily.
And guess what? So you don't know what time you're going to be home. MLB games the same way. Twins game starts at 7 o'clock. It could be done at 9. It could be done at 10. It could be done at 11. You don't flippin' know.
Or 1.
Exactly right. So that's one thing MLS has going for them is the fact that your game is 90 minutes, and it's 90 minutes. And there might be some extra time. So you might actually add an extra 10 minutes, maybe 20 minutes if you're crazy. So you know what time it's going to end.
Yep.
And you know exactly what's going to happen.
And that's a really good example was the Seattle game, the last home game. I decided to take the rail down because Twins were playing, so they had it scheduled. And it was, I can't go out afterwards because I need to get back to Target Field Station to catch the North Star. Yeah. And the thing is I had no idea. I was watching in the second half. I was like, okay, where are the Twins right now?
Yeah.
Okay, they're 7th inning and it's the 80th minute. Okay, we should be good. But it was one of those things where I was like, I may have to leave the game early because if I want to get to Target Field in time.
That's right.
But at the same time, it could have been, I'm going to sit at Target Field Station for the next hour.
Yeah.
It's absolutely no idea.
Potentially.
Yeah.
Potentially. So, to just close this point out, guys, MLS, we're all going to be there, I think, for the opening of the new stadium, right? So season ticket holders was already 14,000. We have the Preserve now, which has a couple hundred people on it now.
Yep.
Good luck to them.
I think it's like 5 something.
Good luck to them.
Yeah.
I seriously, I mean, if you really want to go to a game, good luck. I could have bought season tickets beforehand. Unlike Sterling, I cannot go to every flipping game there is. He's got family, but my family is a little different than night work and everything like that. So
my family's been very forgiving.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's great for Dave, a guy like him, to go and get 3 season tickets for the new stadium. But I'll be there. I'm going to pay money. Stevens, you'll be there.
Yeah, and just to add on to your point, like I can't, like having season tickets is a bit unrealistic for me with my travels, but I mean, if the Loons can't be successful without that base, without that season ticket holder base, and so having a waiting list like the Preserve is it's such a great thing, and I think it'll be long.
And that feeds back into McGuire. I think McGuire's whole goal was to get this new stadium and then make money on this stadium and then get better players after that. So let's go into the loans because we talked about this enough. Sterling, you got some loan guys you want to talk about?
Yeah, so we finally decided to send people on loan, which should have happened about 2 months ago. We sent out Carter Manley, left back, to Las Vegas Lights, actually back July 31st, I think was.
He's been there for a while.
The announcement, he's been there for 4 games. And then a 1D Akoo, the Cameroonian center back, he was finally loaned out to Charlotte Independence just last week. And so to start with him, he got play right away against Pittsburgh.
Nice.
It was a 0-0 draw. On top of that, Charlotte was even down a man. So I think that says a lot for him as a center back.
Good deal.
He was shorthanded and held Pittsburgh to a draw.
And that's what we want.
Yeah.
If you're loaning a player out, you want them to start playing.
It's about minutes.
Yeah. He got the start. He played the entire game. It was fantastic. That's what we need. Carter Manley is a different situation. He was loaned out, like I said, to Las Vegas Lights back in end of July. 4 games in, he's been on the roster or on the squad for 3 of them. In fact, what's even better is he was first game he was on as a sub. Second game he wasn't listed at all, and then now he's been listed for 2 more. And what's worse is that Las Vegas is complete shit. In those 4 games, they've actually allowed 9 goals.
Are they USL?
Yeah. So it's like he's a defender. You have allowed. I mean, they have a goal difference of -18, so they're a lot like us. And so you have terrible defense. You're allowing goals like a sieve. You get this MLS draft pick, who, all intents and purposes, for the amount that we've seen him, he has a lot of upside. And you don't play him at all.
Yeah, you need to give him minutes.
I mean, I think Minnesota United, and I've heard rumors that they're looking to pull him and take him somewhere else.
And he should.
He needs to be, because I think of all the guys we have on loan, which currently aren't many, I think he has significant upside. And the fact that our fullbacks, Tyrone Mears is 35, Jerome Tiasson is 31, I think, and he's just coming back from injury. You got Mark Birch, who's 32 or 33, and he's been injured all season, and I think he's healthy now. We need fullbacks.
And that's what I want to bring up. The fact that, again, is when you loan a guy out to a lower league, you would hope that lower league team would play your guy a number of minutes to get him some more experience. If you're not going to flip and play the guy, then send him back.
Yeah.
Don't let him sit there for 3 games. Send him back.
Yeah, I just think, I don't know what their manager, Isidro Sanchez, I don't know much about him, but he clearly doesn't have a handle on their defense, and here he is with Carter Manley not doing anything with him. So I hope that Minnesota United find a new place for him. I know Omsberg, he's been with us now for several weeks, but he's currently, I think, technically on loan with Pittsburgh. But they have a recall available for him. So, at this point, he's better off just being on a bench.
Yeah.
I don't see a point in...
He is better off being with United, practicing with them, learning techniques, than he is to be in Las Vegas, practicing with them, and not playing at all.
Right. And, you could go another direction and even say, you don't know what he's doing in his off time in Las Vegas.
Yeah,
so he'd be better off in Minnesota. If he's not going to get time in Las Vegas, let's just get him back to Minnesota.
Yeah, let's see. Las Vegas, when you don't have time, hundreds of casinos. In Minnesota, when you don't have time,